Jonathan, you always wore a hara, but do you really have to look like one?
Easy, Johnny, easy.
Mortimer, have you forgotten the things I used to do to you when we were boys? You remember the time you were tied to the bedpost? The needles under your fingernails?
By God it is, Jonathan. Yes, I remember. I remember you as the most detestable, vicious, venomous form of animal life I ever knew.
Now, boys, let's not quarrel the moment you're together.
There won't be any fight, Aunt Abby. Jonathan, you're not wanted in this house. Get out.
We've been invited to stay.
Not in this house.
Just for tonight.
I don't want him anywhere near me.
But we did invite him for tonight, and it wouldn't be very nice to go back on our word.
All right? Tonight. First thing in the morning, out. Where are they sleeping?
We put them in Jonathan's old room.
That's my old room. I'll be sleeping in that room. I'm here to stay.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Johnny, we sleep down here tonight.
Yeah, you bet your life you sleep down here.
You sleep on the sofa, and I sleep on the window seat.
Window seat? Well, tell you what, let's not argue about it, huh? The window seat's good enough for me tonight. I'll sleep on the window seat, all right?
You know, Johnny, all this argument, it makes me think of Mr. Spinazzo.
Spinazzo! Oh, well, now, Mortimer, it really isn't necessary to inconvenience you like this. We'll sleep down here tonight.
Jonathan, your sudden consideration for me is very unconvincing.
Come on, Johnny, we get those things out of the room, eh?
Don't bother, Doctor.
You know, Doctor, I have completely lost track of Mr. Spinazzo.
Who is this Mr. Spinalzo?
Just a friend of ours Johnny's been looking for.
Well, don't bring him in here.
It's all right, Johnny. When we pack, I tell you all about it.
Mortimer, you don't have to sleep down here tonight. Now, I'll go in with Martha, and you can have my room.
Well, that won't be necessary, Aunt Tabby. We'll be packed in a few minutes. Then you can have the room, Mortimer.
You're wasting your time, Jonathan. I already told you I'm sleeping down here.
Oh, Mortimer,
What's the matter with you, dear?
I've almost just been killed.
Abby, Martha.
You mistook her for a sneak thief.
Oh, no, it's more than that. He's some kind of maniac. Mortimer, I'm afraid of him.
Darling, you're trembling. Here, sit. Have you got any smelling salts?
No, but do you think some hot tea or coffee?
Coffee, yes. And some for me as well. And some sandwiches. I haven't had any dinner.
We'll make something for both of you.
Martha, we can leave our house down here now.
Were you two going out somewhere? Do you know what time it is? It's after 12. 12! Look, Elaine, you've got to go home, okay?
What? Why, we both just wanted sandwiches for you. Now, it'll just take a minute.
Don't you remember? We wanted to celebrate your engagement. Oh. Yes, that's what we'll do. We'll make a nice supper for both of you. And we'll open a bottle of wine. Oh.
All right. Oh, go. No wine!
Mortimer, what's going on in this house?
What do you mean? What's going on in this house? What?
You were supposed to take me to dinner and the theater, and you called it off. You asked me to marry you. I said yes, and 5 minutes later, you threw me out of the house. Tonight, after your brother tries to strangle me, you want to chase me home. Now listen, Mr. Brewster. Before I go home, I want to know where I stand. Do you love me?
I love you very much, Elaine. In fact, I love you so much, I can't marry you.
Have you suddenly gone crazy?
No, but I'm afraid it's just a matter of time. Insanity runs in my family, Elaine. Hell, it practically gallops. That's why I can't marry you, dear.
Now wait a minute, you've got to do better than that.
No, dear, look, there's a strange taint in the Brewster blood. Okay? If you knew my family, if you really knew my family, well, it's what you'd expect if Strindberg had written House of Poppin'.
Now just because Teddy is a little...
No, way back. Goes way back. The first Brewster, the one who came over on the Mayflower. You know, in those days, the Indians used to scout the settlers. He used to scout the Indians.
Mortimer, that's ancient history.
No, it's the whole family, Elaine. Take my grandfather. He tried his patent medicines out on dead people to make sure he didn't kill them.
He wasn't so crazy. He made $1 million.
And then there's Jonathan. Well, you just said he was a maniac. He tried to kill you.
Oh, he's your brother. He's not you. I'm in love with you.
And then there's Teddy, too. You know Teddy. He thinks he's Roosevelt. No, dear. No Brewster should ever marry. I realize now if I met my father in time, I would have stopped him, too.
Now, darling, this doesn't prove you're crazy. Look at your aunts. They're Brewsters, aren't they? And they're the sanest, sweetest people I've ever known.
Even they had their peculiarities, believe me.
And what lovely peculiarities. Kindness, generosity, even sympathy.
There's another one!
Mortimer, there are plenty of others. You can't say anything about your aunts.
I'm not going to. Look, Elaine, you gotta go home now, okay? Something's just come up.
Well, from where? We're alone here together.
Look, I know I'm acting irrationally, dear, but just put it down on the fact that I'm a mad Brewster, okay?
Now look, wait a minute. If you think you're going to get out of this by pretending you're insane, you're crazy. Maybe you're not going to marry me, but I'm going to marry you. I love you. You don't?
Well, if you love me, will you get the hell out of this house?
Mortimer? Will you walk me home? I'm afraid.
Afraid? You want to walk to the cemetery?
Mortimer? Will you kiss me goodnight?
Of course, dear. Good night, dear. I'll call you up.
You critic!
Abby, Martha, come in here.
We'll be in a minute.
Come in here right now!
Who's here? Where's Elaine?
I thought you promised me that you weren't going to let anyone in this house while I was gone.
Well, Jonathan just...
No, I don't mean
walked
Jonathan.
right in. Dr. Einstein...
I don't mean Dr. Weinstein. Who is that in the window seat?
We told you, Mr. Hoskins.
That is not Mr. Hoskins!
Who can that be?
Are you trying to tell me you've never seen this man before?
I certainly am. Why, that's a fine how you do. It's getting so anybody thinks they can walk into this house.
And Abby, don't try to get out of this. This is another one of your gentlemen.
Mortimer, how can you say such a thing? That man is an imposter. If he came here to be buried in our cellar, he's mistaken.
You told me you put Mr. Hoskins in the window seat.
Yes, I did.
Well, this man certainly didn't get the idea from Mr. Hoskins, did he? By the way, where is Mr. Hoskins?
Must have gone to Panama.
Oh, you buried him?
No, not yet, dear. He's just down there patiently waiting for services. Poor dear. But we haven't had a minute, what with Jonathan in the house. Oh, dear. We've always wanted to hold the double funeral. But I will not bring services over a total stranger.
Stranger? And Abby, how can I believe you? There are 12 men dead down in the cellar, and you admit you poisoned them.
Yes, I did. You don't think I'd stoop to telling a fib? Mother!
Oh, Mortimer, I'd like to have a word with you.
A word's about all I don't have time for, Jonathan, because I've decided that you and your doctor friend are going to have to get out of this house as quickly as possible.
I'm glad you recognize the fact that you and I can no longer live under the same roof. But you've arrived at the wrong solution. Take your suitcase. Get out.
Jonathan, you bore me, okay? Now, you played your one-night stand in Brooklyn. Move on, huh?
My dear Mortimer, just because you've graduated from the back fence to the typewriter, don't think you've grown up. I'm saying, yo! And I mean now.
Jonathan, if you think that I can be frightened, if you think that there's anything that
I
I
lead
fear...
a strange life, Mortimer. If it's taught me one thing, it's to be afraid of nothing.
Martha, Just you look in that window seat.
No, Abby, no. Jonathan, go ahead and show Aunt Martha what's in the window seat. And Abby, I owe you an apology. I have very good news for you. Jonathan is leaving, and he's taking Dr. Einstein and their cold companion with him. Jonathan, you're my brother. You're a Brewster. So I'm going to give you this one chance to get away and take the evidence with you. Can't ask for more than that. Very well. In that case, I'll have no choice but to call the police.
Don't reach for that telephone. Are you still giving me orders after seeing what's happened to Mr. Spinozzo?
Spinozzo. I knew he was a foreigner.
Remember, what happened to Mr. Spinozzo can happen to you, too.
Hello, Miss Abby.
Officer O'Hara, is there something we can do for you?
Oh, I saw your lights on and I thought there might be sickness in the house. Oh, you got company? Oh, sorry, I disturbed you.
No, come in, please.
Please come in.
Yes, come right in, Officer O'Hara.
This is our nephew, Mortimer.
Pleased to meet you.
And this is another nephew, Jonathan.
Oh, pleasure to make your acquaintance. Well, it must be nice having your nephews visiting you. Are they going to stay with you for a bit?
Oh, I'm staying. My brother Jonathan is just leaving.
I've met you here before, haven't I?
Oh, I'm afraid not. Jonathan hasn't been home in years.
Your face looks familiar to me. Maybe I've seen a picture of you somewhere.
I don't think so.
Yes. I'd hurry along if I were you, Jonathan. Your things are already packed, aren't they?
Well, you'd be wanting to say goodbye, so I'll just take my leave.
Well, what's the rush? I'd like to have you stay and stick around a minute until my brother's gone.
Oh, I just dropped in to just make sure everything was all right.
Well, we're about to have some coffee soon. Won't you join us?
Oh, I forgot the coffee. I'd better make some more sandwiches. I ought to know your appetite by this time, Officer O'Hara.
Don't bother, I'm due to ring in a few minutes.
Oh, you can have one coffee with us, please. My brother Jonathan will be gone soon. Have a seat.
Say, ain't I seen a photograph of your brother around here somewheres?
No, I don't think so.
He certainly reminds me of someone.
Yes, well, he has a face that you might see in the movies.
Oh, I never go to the movies. I hate them. My mother says the movies is a bastard art.
Oh, certainly full of them. Your mother said that?
Oh, yeah. She was an actress, a stage actress. Perhaps you've heard of her. Peaches Latour.
Sounds like a name I might have seen on a program. What'd she play?
Her big hit was Mutt and Jeff. Played for 3 years. I was born on tour, the 3rd season.
You were?
Oh, yeah. Sioux City, Iowa. I was born in the dressing room. At the end of the 2nd act, and Mother made the finale.
What a trooper. You know, I'll bet there's a story in your mother. You know, I write about the theater.
You do? Say, you're not Mortimer Brewster, the dramatic critic.
Yes.
Oh, well, I certainly am glad to meet you, Mr. Brewster. You and I are in the same business.
We are?
Yeah. Oh, I'm a playwright. Oh, this being on the police force is just temporary.
Oh. How long have you been on force?
12 years. Oh, I'm collecting material for a play.
How bad?
It ought to be. Oh, with all the drama I see. Being a cop, Mr. Brewster, you got no idea what goes on in Brooklyn.
Oh, I think I do.
Say, what time you got?
Oh, it's 10 o'clock.
Gee, I gotta ring in.
Oh, wait, O'Hara, on the play of yours, I may be able to help you.
You would? Say, it was fate my walking in here this evening. Look, I'll tell you the plot.
Doctor, quickly.
Oh, you're leaving now, huh? Good. You haven't got much time, you know.
Everything's almost ready. Oh, you're leaving, Jonathan? Goodbye. Goodbye, Dr. Einstein. Oh, isn't this your case?
Oh, yes, Jonathan. You can't leave without taking all of your things, remember? You gotta take everything with you. O'Hara, it was wonderful to meet you. Listen, why don't we get together sometime later and talk about your play, huh?
Oh, I'm not leaving now, Mr. Brewster.
Well, why not?
Well, you just offered to help me write my play, didn't you? Well, no, you and I, we're gonna write my play together.
No, I can't do that, Officer O'Hara. I'm not a creative writer.
Oh, I'll do the creating, you just put the words to it.
No, but O'Hara, I can't.
Oh, what? No, it's all right. It's, you know what? I am not leaving this house until I tell you the plot.
Oh, no,
In that
O'Hara.
case, Mortimer will be running along.
No, don't try that. You can't leave now. You gotta take everything with you, remember? O'Hara, look, why don't you run along now? I'm gonna do this.
I can wait. I've been waiting 12 years.
No, it's
I'm
just.
sorry I was so
Oh,
long.
no, don't bring that in here. O'Hara, would you join us for a bite in the kitchen?
Kitchen? Jonathan's leaving. Oh, that's nice. Come along, Officer O'Hara. Sure you don't mind eating in the kitchen,
And
Miss O'Hara.
where else would you eat?
Well, Jonathan, it was nice to have seen you again.
I'm glad you came back to Brooklyn, Jonathan, because it gives me a chance to throw you out. And the first one gone is your boyfriend, Spinoza.
Look, Mr. Brewster, you're talking here.
Oh, I'm coming right out.
You might have known you'd grow up to